So after a hard day in the Jurassic sediments, this is what we have to show for it. Hello, awesome fossil hunters and collectors. We are going back to visit some friends up in Massachusetts who actually have dinosaur prints in some of the rocks on their property. It's kind of a crisp fall day right now. I'm hoping the weather's going to be pretty good up there. We've been lucky so far. It's been kind of warm for in October, but we're going up to visit Gary and Lori to look for some more dinosaur footprints. Hopefully we'll make some good finds, hopefully many good finds. Join us for our adventures in fossil hunting and collecting with Chris. Yep, so this piece came up. It came up in two halves. That's okay. We're about to see for the first time in 200 and maybe 10 million years. I think I see something. That looks like something right there. Maybe. Where?
Yeah.
Yeah, right where your finger was. Right in there.
Weird. That comes up instead of down like a print.
So here it is on the other side. See it right over there? It looks like at least part of a print. Looks like a... I'd say that's something.
Might be print right below it. There? I don't know. Or above it.
What about that? Anything?
As I can see. Oh, bummer.
Let's take a look at the other half.
Yeah, we'll have to clean it up probably to know for sure.
I'd like to take a moment just to tell you about the different layers that we are digging into. We are digging into a formation known as the East Berlin Formation. Now, it's not named after the former Soviet-occupied Berlin from the Cold War. It's actually named because these prints were first found on the eastern side of Berlin Township, Connecticut. So it's called the East Berlin Formation. It is Lower Jurassic. If you look at this map here of the southern part of Massachusetts, there's a lot of this purplish Lower Jurassic rocks that outcrop that were a good place. Any of these are good places to look for dinosaur prints when you see an outcrop. Today we are digging on a landowner's property who has been very generous to let us work here. And we made a lot of really nice finds here, and we're extremely appreciative of all the good times that we've had at this site. There are generally two different types of fossil footprints that we find at this site. There are smaller ones, if you want to call them small. They're usually, most of them are larger than a handprint, and these we call granulator. The footprints themselves have a name. The larger ones also have their own names. They're called Ubrontes. These are the large ones. There used to be a very large trackway here of Ubrontes, but it has been since moved to University of Connecticut for their permanent display there, thanks to the generosity of the Golan family. Well, we see these small ones, granulator. We think that these and the Ubrontes as well are large and small versions of a dinosaur known as Dilophosaur. Dilophosaurs are kind of like, oh, think of an allosaur or maybe a T-Rex. They are theropod dinosaurs. And these theropod dinosaurs were from an earlier time. Basically were much like that body shape that you see in the maybe an allosaur. However, the arms are a little bit longer, and they had a characteristic set of crests on their head. Here's a model of what they may have looked like. And you might ask, well, why do we give these footprints their own names? Why don't we just call them Dilophosaur? Well, the problem is we are not certain. They could be Dilophosaurs. They might be something that we've never discovered before. And we rarely find the bones and footprints together. Footprints form in shallow areas, drying out lakes or sandy shores that solidified very quickly. Bones usually fossilize only if you have deep and rapid burial. a very different environment than where you usually find the prints. Oh, one more thing before we get back to the video. If you like videos like this about fossil hunting and fossil collecting, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe. Subscribe doesn't cost anything, but it'll make videos like this pop up more often in the YouTube feed.
So here we go. Once again, the other half is just as old as the first half. Here we go. See mud cracks.
Yeah. Something right there.
Nothing obvious.
Nope.
It is a print. You can see it here.
That bulge there, yeah.
Which would be this guy?
Oh, right where the knife is, I think. And in it goes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you know what it's going to do? It's going to go all the way in and then break just where the print
Look
is.
how high it is here.
Yes.
And here is Chris working on trying to break this seam.
Yes. It's a bit stubborn. It already has a crack, but I want to try and get both halves up. This is a stubborn spot right here, which means there may be a print under it. It tends to stick more when the prints disrupt the pattern. All right, so this piece that we're working on cracked into 3 pieces. You just step back from this. You can see the one. Ooh, sorry, careful. And Mike is demonstrating how to do it quickly.
Yeah.
Fossil demolition. All right, so Mike, if you would, could you flip that up, see if there's anything on it? Once again, same deal. About 210 million years. There could be fossil prints. This is a lot of real estate we just pulled up, so there's a really good chance. I think I see something in the bottom corner. See a print? Oh yeah, decent print. So, can people at home, can you see the print? It's actually very close to Mike's lower hand. If you move your finger forward just a little bit towards the print, into the print, there you go. There's the print. You see it, Mike?
Yep.
So we have a nice print. Awesome. Okay. So here we go again. 210 million years. Good chance for prints.
You might want to hold that a second.
Okay. It's like, oh, there we go. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. At least 2 prints visible. Nice. Another very nice print. Ready? Okay, so we just chiseled underneath another piece. Moving a lot of real estate today. It's coming up really, really well. This time we moved the camera so you're getting a brighter, sharper image from the sun, so maybe they'll show up better if we find something. We have not turned this over yet, so you're getting once again, getting a premiere of what might be under this 210 million year old rock. Seeing a dead bug, that's about it. Okay, there's a little bit of a print here. And that looks like it might be. There's a couple of impressions that might be weak prints. It's a little bit hard to say because there's the
mud is kind of making these bulgy shapes too. But I think this one here is most likely a print.
All right, I probably should have filmed this before we pulled this up, but we pulled up that little piece that was on the end, and we found, sure enough, a nice little dinosaur print. You can see the edge of it, or 2 toes of it here, plus part of the toe stuck in the middle of the one. And the rest of this print, very prominent on this rock over here. Fragile rock, but prominent print. The rest of the underside of the print is in this rock, but that's going to take, it's not something that should be done in the field. That should be more carefully reconstructed. But, you know, another really nice find on a beautiful day collecting dino print fossils. So we seem to make our best finds when the camera's not on.
Absolutely.
And that's largely because we're engrossed in what we're doing when we're not filming. I think ooh, you got something going on. I think it might be a print, but it's on top of a mud crack, which is obscuring it a bit. Look at the other half. Yeah, it looks to me like you had a print, but it's also where a major mud crack is, so the print is somewhat obscured.
Funky. Yeah.
And on this one, the reason I turned the camera on again is because that same piece that little broken one came out that we put aside to do surgery on has another good print. I popped up part of that big piece. And when they get stuck like that, it very often means that there is a print there, and sure enough there is. Here's the part filling in the crack. I hope you can see what I'm putting in front of the camera. And here is the part going into the rock. Nice dinosaur print. It has a crack going right through the middle, so I'm going to have to be super careful not to kill this one. And there's also another partial, smaller print over here. So mommy and baby there maybe. One of the finds of today so far has been Mike's footprint over here, and he marked out where he would like it cut. So this is what we're going to do. Even though we're not lifting it yet, we're cutting it here because there's several cracks starting to show up in this rock, and we don't want any of them to start running through the print. If we make a little box around it, it's very unlikely that the crack will keep going through the print. There is a slight chance everything could crumble away and turn to dust, but
Yeah.
we don't think that's going to happen.
With me, that's usually 50-50. Yeah.
I'm thinking that's probably enough scoring to prevent a disaster.
There. It's not real deep there, but I guess it didn't put much pressure. What you really need is a tiny chisel.
Just kind of peel it a little bit.
A lot of times I take it out and then bring it indoors and do it,
Yeah.
you know, at my leisure, the really tiny things. I make little tiny chisels out of a nail.
Okay.
Yeah, so a lot, just like anything else in the less field cropping the better.
Yep.
All right, so we're lifting this up. It is overburdened as far as getting to the good print, but we want to take a look and see if there's anything good on this. Not seeing anything obvious.
No.
I don't think so. loads of them. I like this. And there's a little teeny chisel blade by that side. And it goes back and forth.
Oh, that'd be nice.
You know, it's not rotary, so it just goes back and forth.
So you still got one?
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And it works really nice.
Yeah, that looks like the kind of print you can start here. Just chisel it this way to try to get that out of the middle toe. I think that's the middle toe.
All right, we are back again at Gary's Giant Dinosaur Trackway, and we kind of got to work right away in a new spot now, in a different area, and we made a discovery right away. On the ground here, I'm hoping you can see it, we have a Ubrontes, one of these giant dinosaur tracks. Originally we couldn't even tell what it was, we only saw the original toe exposed first. Pulled it up and wasn't really sure how it fit together until Gary helped us uncover the rest of this and see what it was, and we got a really nice Ubrontes. The idea now is there may be another one just right over here where these butter knives are. If there is, then it's not just a large dinosaur footprint, it's going to be a trackway. So we will have to see. All right, so today is another historic day at the Giant Dinosaur Track site because we have another Ubrontes, and it could be the start of another trackway. So it looks like it's probably going to be on the order of a foot or a little over a foot long. It's a little bit confusing in the beginning because at first we just saw these bumps upwards and we weren't really sure what they were, and after a little bit of head scratching and after Gary came out and helped us, we eventually saw what it was, that it was this nice Ubrontes track.
We hope so, anyway.
We hope so, because not long ago, remember the very large trackway with a dozen prints went to a college for permanent display. And so it'd be nice if this turned out to be another track site on site.
I think that's what they call it.
Can you say that again?
I think it's called a metatarsal.
So you think you see that over
Right
here? Okay.
Kind of like its heel, but
Yes.
more like the back of its leg, lower leg.
Ah, so that'd be great if that's actually showing up in here too.
Yeah, they have more than 3 toes. Well, believe it or not. 5 or so.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So at this point, this is the second. The first print is right over near that little, yes, perfect, thank you. We think we have another one, so we think this is a trackway, not just a print. This looks like another Ubrontes, another one of those very big dinosaur footprints.
Yeah.
And this is one that I never would have spotted, so thank you so much, Gary, for pointing this one out.
You're welcome. I've had experience getting these out. Anyway, question is there a toe right there? Toenail.
Well, there should be. One way to find out.
Yeah, now you have to be real careful.
So right now, Gary is using the first 2 prints to estimate about where the third one should be.
Yeah. Should be about there. Like that. But it could be, depending on whether it's left or right, it could be there or there. Anyway, here's our area of probability,
Okay.
I would say. And it does go down here. Looking good. Yep. Your turn. Right away, it wasn't flat.
Yeah.
This could be when he jumps up and
Oh,
when
yeah.
he was doing his long jump, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Just be careful. If you dig it out of its nest there, it might attack
Yeah.
At least this is good. They put the track site back in, you know, give it some,
you. Yes.
I'm sure Patrick another paper. But this time he can do it for you. Instead of you trying to write a paper on something for him. I'm very sure you Bronny's gonna make his day.
Yeah.
Especially with this one being weird like this.
Yes. So what we're talking about now is we're up to 3 now. 3 Ibrante's prints have been found in a row, so we definitely have a trackway. And Mike has volunteered to dig a tunnel to find the
To
other
find
one.
the next one. Right.
So we're thinking that they're going to see if we can find a 4th one. And this is a really big deal because it's not every day that you find a large dinosaur trackway. And that's what we accomplished this afternoon.
Great.
So after a hard day in the Jurassic sediments, this is what we have to show for it. Three spectacular Ibrante's tracks. And none of these were exposed when we got here. We didn't know what we were going to find. And we ended up with a publishable find. It looks like this is probably all we're going to find because the outcrop ended. We started digging into the soil here to follow the outcrop. And it looks like it ends before we get to another print, which is unfortunate, but...
Gary's?
Yes, that's Gary's tool. But it is an incredible find, and it will probably end up being published.